So I have no new information, I mean, other than month end is the end of the month, or Friday, and I'll have stats in a couple weeks, and just, if you have any other questions?
Question? Thank you, we'll respond to your report, Kelly. Public safety.
No reports at this point, unless there are questions about it.
Any questions from the chief?
I'm just a citizen.
This is really good.
There you go.
Just following up on the questions earlier, what sort of emergency response do we have up on the West Hill with the Jovita closure? Do you have backup plans up there for if there is some emergency?
As an emergency vehicle, we can use Jovita, so it doesn't impact us whatsoever.
So, let me ask this question too, and I know that Chief Hawkins has said that you guys are having more of a presence up there on the West Hill than we have. I mean, that we've increased the presence up there, and that's still ongoing with the road closures.
Yeah, yeah, because we still have a, you know, a solid way in and out.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Any other questions? Okay.
So Algona had a water main break, which caused a sinkhole in West Valley, which closed the road. They have no opening date yet for that portion. We did have a little issue. We put up some more signs because people were going to the end of Ellington and doing U-turns. Hopefully that stopped. If it didn't, we'll get some room soon. Leanne got a letter. We also had a notification today that TIB released the funds for Stewart Road. TIB is the Transportation Improvement Board. Yeah. The Gordon closing actually got moved to Friday of this week, but we will be closing on the Gordon right-of-way purchase on Friday of this week. The vacant house thing, I did a drive around last Wednesday and wrote down addresses of every vacant house, every house that has extra lawn, debris, excessive dogs.
What do you consider excessive?
Yeah.
15.
15 or more.
No one has 15 dogs.
Yeah, they're little dogs.
Okay.
No.
So, yeah, so I'm working on that, but, Valentine bid, for those of you that are interested, will be, next Tuesday at 2 p.m. in the police conference center at Sumner. There's a bid opening, you can ask about that.
2 o'clock?
2 o'clock. Okay. The Hatch property should have closed today. I think it funded today, so it should have closed today. So now we have to own the Hatch property. Last week, I had a phone call from City of Sumner. They informed me of a 50 by 110 metal building that had been stored. It's brand new, in the crate. We were able to purchase it for $12,000, and I went and checked on the prices for the same building, and we were looking at just to buy that building with all the engineering specs and design and everything would have been between $75,000 and $100,000. So the building will be delivered on Friday. We'll hopefully be able to fund putting the rest of it together next year. It won't hurt it to sit for the year. I'm just taking pictures and stuff. So figured the $12,000 investment was a good investment, way better than what, since that was the size we were kind of looking for the Public Works Department to move to the reservoir. It fit our needs. The only other thing I have is the Public Works meeting June 4th at 7 p.m.
Any questions?
Something, what kind of, I don't understand.
It's a metal building.
What you put inside of it?
Our Public Works crew and stuff.
I have offices
I'll
there,
have an
and
office.
remove public,
Oh, and
over
it's
to the
gonna be
reservoir.
Yeah.
Hopefully next year.
Where's the reservoir?
It's over on
County line, in the County Line Road.
Yeah.
Okay.
Councilmember Garber-Lee.
When did you think that you meeting again?
June 7th at 7 p.m.
Wednesday.
Any other questions from council? Councilmember Jones.
View, no parking,
Yeah.
area. And I don't know if you've seen it lately, but besides the parking, illegal parking along there, you see the damage that vehicles have been doing. That's why we put those no parking signs up there.
Right.
And they still continue to illegally park their trucks and stuff. But they are damaging that ground space there.
Taking it down,
Are they ticketing still?
I have not seen any emails in regards to enforcing that.
I know.
We're talking about the 800 block or the 900 block?
Yeah.
Roughly?
The Corliss properties there.
I'll make a note of that.
I know I had
They're
to,
constantly
I know,
trash.
I had to turn down there cleaning that one area up that we haven't mowed in years and getting that mowed, because it was looking pretty bad too, so I'm trying to, I told them, put some eco blocks in, try and keep the trucks from, or cars from going in behind the sign and stuff. On the gravel area, we haven't done that, because of the turning radius and some of the trucks have been going. Yeah, I know.
Councilmember Garvey.
When you have the correction?
The Public Works Committee meeting is June 4th.
June 4th.
Okay, you said the 7th is small stuff.
I thought it was the 4th and 7th.
You did the first time and the second time, the second time.
Okay.
It was a long week,
Have it keep your work on.
Just ask the mayor how long a weekend it was for me.
Any other questions from council? Okay, thanks, Ken. Okay, next, community services.
I don't have anything at this time. There is numbers for both the senior center and the youth. But other than that, I don't have anything.
Excellent, good job.
Are there questions?
Questions from council?
You still want to meet, not for your email?
Sure.
Okay.
The 4th,
Right.
5:30, Tuesday.
Tuesday.
That's a Thursday.
That's that, yeah, Wednesday.
Okay.
Put a calendar on that wall, okay?
When they're P.C.S.
Tuesday,
I don't know
June
what
3rd,
day.
your meeting, what time?
5:30,
5:30.
senior center.
Wait, I thought it was the 5th.
No, Tuesday.
I'm learning how to use the calendar.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so everybody got that?
Yeah.
Human Services Committee meeting,
5:30.
June 3rd, 5:30, senior center. All right, great, thank you.
You're
Any other
welcome.
questions from council? All right, moving on, city council members, anything to report? Councilmember.
July 12th is the parade for Pacific Day, so I'm letting all of our council members know, except for those on the governance board for VRFA. We'll be in the parade. We'll meet at 9:30 at Alpac. Councilmember Steiger is going to attempt to arrange for us to ride in a antique fire truck.
The first city's fire.
You might want to explain the parade out to you, because it's going to be.
I don't have a copy of it. Jim Morgan has that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it starts at Alpac, goes down Third to Milwaukee. I forgot, I didn't pay attention to the route. I just knew it started at Alpac and came down. So,
It's going to come down Milwaukee to Third into the park.
I got a quick question. As far as the park, is that turn radius wide enough for big vehicles to pull in? Since we have,
At the park?
at the park, yeah.
The driveway should be the same.
Driveway's the same.
Yeah.
Okay,
The width of the driveway hasn't changed.
just popped in my mind like, hey,
And I think actually they just have come back a little bit
Oh,
farther.
they did?
I was
Okay.
asking for as much help as I could get. But that's a good thing for us to pay attention to.
Mhm.
Yeah. Thank you, I appreciate that.
so 9:30, Alpac Elementary, parade starts at 10. But we're lining up. So that's all I have.
Okay, any other council members like?
I don't know, I haven't been down in the last couple of weeks, but, there's a gentleman that lives on Homer. He was on very, very active on our fire department for years as a volunteer. Matter of fact, I think he was even assistant chief at one time for a while. I noticed that there's blackberries growing up all over his house. It's got a couple antique legs there, and, is there something, that agency or some way, I know we had some monies at one time to help seniors, but we didn't exercise them, so it was through Tequila, I think it was.
Yeah, we lost it.
And we lost that money. But I think it's a situation where the gentleman needs some help. I don't know whether he's got dementia, or whether it's just a financial burden, or, I don't know what the situation is, but it's a serious situation for you. And, I think Ken's shaking his head, so apparently he knows what I'm talking about. His name has left me right now.
Rich. His name's Rich. Richard. His name's
Black
Richard.
people.
Remember something.
Anyway, do you know of anything that
No,
we could get,
no, we did have, like a grant through another city, Tukwila.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just mentioned that one that we lost, yeah.
yeah, that's the only one, but I could check into it, I'll see what I can find, because sometimes King County has programs like that that could help.
I think we,
And he lives on Homer, do you know his house
I
number?
have
Do you have it? Okay, all right.
I don't know whether we have other seniors in town that are the same distress, but I don't think maybe he even really understood when we did have it available, that it was available for him, that it's been this way for some time. But then I see somebody out there working around it about 6 months ago, I thought maybe he had somebody assisting him, but the only thing he did is pull another car in there. So, I think it needs some attention.
Thank you, I appreciate that. So, I know it doesn't help this year, but I did put our hat back in the ring for next year. I think it's that time. It was pretty good this year. Any other reports from council members? Okay. So, finance committee.
We met on the 20th, we discussed the park impact fees. Richard went over the money that should be there, and then what money he can allocate back to the fund. I think it was $160,000+. There's a balance of $144,000, so we as a council need to decide if, pull monies from the general fund to put back into to fully fund the fund where it should be. And then we need to discuss how Richard has an idea of saying, create a different line item, a new fund. I think our code says, he was saying, says that we have to create a new separate checking account for it, but he thinks that we can get away with just creating a new fund line item so that it doesn't get mixed in with the other revenues. And then, we discussed police negotiations, and I agree, I think we should have a executive meeting to discuss a strategy for how to move forward, because we've lost the 6-month negotiating window, and, we have a couple of ideas we'd like to bounce off council to see, get some direction from you to see what you would agree with and be amenable to. And then we discussed the FTE schedule change and the impact. That was it.
Questions from council? Governance committee, is there a report tonight?
No, because we have our new member, and until it gets approved, we can't have our meeting.
Okay, so, human services committee, you have your meeting next week?
Yep.
Okay, public safety committee, have we had an opportunity to meet yet?
Well, John's been out of town. He's on vacation today, so I'm trying to get hold of him.
Supposed to be back tomorrow, so, okay.
Can I make a request? Can we do the public safety meeting, can we schedule it in the evening so that I can attend?
No, I used to have them at lunch.
Yeah, well, you can't miss it, so they'll be here to lunch, that's not gonna work.
No, they're always here.
It says here 9 AM.
Usually when they have a public safety at a meeting.
Just to be discussed at the time, they're generally in the mornings at 9 AM is what I was told, and then
No.
it's also written down here.
Never, it's always a meeting. Well, I take it up with management.
For once it rolls up, all right, okay. Okay, so we can discuss that, Chris.
Okay,
I think you're the chair, so you can make it whenever you want.
okay.
Wherever you the chair.
I can't
As long as I have a chair.
I see,
Were you public works? Public works or public safety?
I think I'm chair of public safety last year, I think I'm public works this year, for the next year, you have to be public safety.
I think when you meet, you'll have to appoint a new chair.
Well, let's figure it out.
Yeah.
So in other words, if you're the chair, you can make the meeting.
All right, moving on. Public Works Committee, you're meeting next week. Technology Committee.
Oh. I have the report on that.
Right.
We met last Tuesday, or actually met on 2 Tuesdays ago, Thursday, excuse me, the 15th. We discussed the new website, and we were told that's going up to Clee, and staff training. We talked about technology upgrades for the council chambers, especially this summer, because we had a problem with the computer, the power went out, so we're going to add some technology that's going to allow for us to have more microphones and wireless ones as well. Beyond that, I'm not sure yet, but we'll address that in June. And then we talked about tablet usage, computer tablets, and I'm currently negotiating or discussing with the City of Edgewood. They have, all their council has iPads and they're tied into their system, so it's very user-friendly and they can actually have access to the code on any item in the agenda. So I'm finding out from them what their cost was, and I'm going to get it back to the committee in June as well. The technology committee meeting is scheduled for June 19th, but I'm out of town that day, so we might move it. We'll talk to Trent, because I'm out of town that week for AWC conference. So that's it.
Questions? Okay, Civil Service Commission, nobody here for that. Park Board, any report from Park Board? Okay, so Planning Commission, I think they're still having their meeting. Pierce County Regional Council, I'm still working on having somebody fill that position. Ken, did you say they were meeting this week, that you were going to try to?
That's what I saw, yeah.
Okay, so that'd be great, thank you. Sound Cities Association, we did meet last week. Last week was a very full meeting, or a week of meetings. The topic that came up was green gas emission targets. King County is setting targets for everyone to adopt. I have paperwork on that if everybody's interested. It still hasn't been a recommendation to move forward from Sound Cities Association. I will have information for you at the workshop to see if we want to weigh in on that. Unfortunately, I will not be at the meeting when they take the vote on it, so my alternate.
What day is that?
It would be, what is that Wednesday, the 18th? The 18th. So, but anyway, the items that they have on the next Sound Cities Association, I mean, they're crucial items, but they're nothing that is going to affect us terribly on the city. The green gas emission targets at the King County wide, they're hoping cities will adopt their own. And basically, the discussion was our city is doing the best that we can. Any improvement that we do, we look at LED lighting and we look at how we can do more, a smaller carbon footprint moving forward. Future action items that they're going to be having is.
Can I be excused?
Yes, you may. That's our business. So, future action items that they're going to be having is coal train safety. There's going to be more conversation regarding that, and the King County Conservation District, which the city of Pacific does not belong to, but I think it's something that we want to think about becoming a part of moving forward. But that's neither here nor there. As a representative for Pacific at Fountain Cities Association. I have also been appointed to 2 other committees to represent Fountain Cities Association on behalf of Pacific. One of those is the Growth Management Policy Committee, very exciting for me. And the discussion that was taken up there was, you know, how Issaquah had a bond last time to take on Kahani, the housing development. Well, that passed now, Sammamish is doing it, so there was coordination between the 2 of those. And again, there was more talk about climate change and what other cities are doing, and the green gas emission targets was brought up again at that meeting. The other committee that I sit on is the King County Flood District Advisory Committee. Of course, I had a vested interest for Pacific to have a seat at that table. This was our first meeting. Generally, we would meet in February. This was our first meeting that was held last Thursday in May. They have a new flood control district chair, so that's why it took so long for us to meet and kind of behind on some things. And we went through the different projects, and of course, county line, that's what they call our project, is county line. And we're one of the projects that they're talking about, and the investments that they're making, and the restoration, and the activity that's taking place, as well as the projects that are going on in North Bend, in Auburn, and there was one other project, Snoqualmie, that they're working on, all those projects as well. So basically, it was just an overview, a get to know, doing everything. So we do have another meeting that will be held in June and another one in July. And the King County Advisory Committee, basically, we advise the capital budget for them. So, anyway, but I did have a conversation as well with Council Member Reagan Dunn, who is the chair of that committee, and told him that we had some concerns, and he gave me his card with his cell phone number to be able to have a conversation with him and let him know that we still have some concerns going on with the river and the properties along there. So we are addressing it and trying to move forward. Okay, and unfortunately, the South County Area Transportation, I did not make that meeting last week. I know, it was a little bit busy, but my boss had me attend another meeting on his behalf. That pays my mortgage, so I listened. Okay, anyway, so moving on, Valley Regional Fire Authority,